We're in Fredericksburg, Virginia. We've spent the day here, mainly in the hotel room, because my delicate constitution was upset by the sun in Washington, D.C. We were just out too long.
It was about 100 degrees Fahrenheit.
We're going to go into Fredericksburg and see if there's anything there. Well, it's $2.41 a gallon, nearly $1 less than in Connecticut. Or, as I've learnt, it's pronounced Connecticut, because that's how it's spelled. Read the word. This is historic downtown Fredericksburg. Around here is where George Washington grew up. So this town has a memorial to Washington's mother. Yes, and the houses around here in the historic bit are nice and a bit historic.
We've reached the modern area.
It looks older than a lot of other modern areas. This apparently is the church that George Washington visited.
And James Monroe.
Episcopal church. They don't call them Anglican because that fell out of fashion when they stopped being English.
The parish was created in 1720, part of the Church of England.
These are Tiffany windows. Jess, what's the word of the month?
Patriotism.
Oh yeah. I was parked and then tried to leave and someone let me out. They're much politer here. The drivers are nicer, I think. That's a Pollax. As well as being quite wide, this truck has extra wheels. Look, it's got two either side. So this is the town of Ashland. They have some houses, some trees, and they've got that pink tree. Yes, it looks all right.
So it looks like they have a little more outside space here than they did in Fredericksburg.
On one of our viewers' advice, we're going to Montpellier, Virginia. The town in France, Montpellier, is spelt with two L's. The one we're going to is spelt with one L. The reason this means anything to us is because we used to live near some streets, Montpellier Crescent, Montpellier Avenue, and they were spelt with one L, the same as the one we're going to.
Corn.
This is the outskirts of the town, and it's still quite rural.
Not corn.
We're in the wrong Montpellier. I think the other one's quite far away from us at the moment and we need to go to Richmond, so I think we're going to have to give that a miss. And maybe next time.
Horses.
There's a few of those signs around. There's something called the Patrick Henry Tea Party, and they put little quotes from famous historical figures. That one was from George Orwell. There's more of these. There are promises made, promises broken. No, the other ones had different things on them, but this is very popular here. There are so many things called Washington, Jefferson, Madison, and all of those. They're like revolutionary saints. Just everywhere has to have a Washington Street or Avenue or both. It's really everywhere, and that's fine. It's also very noticeable. We are in Richmond, and it started raining, so we're not moving here at all. No, we're going to be nicer than that. We're going to have a look around.
Some street art.
This is downtown and they have a place selling subs and hotels and they've got civic art.
What's some of the nice suburbs around here?
I'd like to settle.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, emigrate, settle.
I mean, there's just so much and it so depends on your personality.
We spoke to someone who told us that the downtown had essentially moved west into somewhere called Short Pump. They were trying to renovate the downtown here by putting sports stuff here.
It has a lot of good hospitals. They said something confusing about suburbs. Another woman that worked there said that there were sort of city suburbs and then there were like sub-suburbs that were outside of the city. So I wonder if suburb means something different here.
We'll have a look around. I think this looks quite good. And he seemed very nice and chilled out.
Yes.
And also the accent here is very easy on the ear. They speak very nicely. I don't know how to really describe that.
Well, I think there was just a lot of willingness to speak to new people, which of course we need, because we'll be new people wherever we live.
Yes. Here's George Washington. This is the Virginia State Capitol. And that again is capital with an O, not an A. Unusually for the Capitol, it doesn't have a golden dome on the top. Most of the other ones did. Okay, so this is the downtown. There are some closed shops to the right. I think what the man said might be true, that it needs to be renovated. So we're going to continue to Short Pump, which is a separate city. It does look like the downtown of Richmond has upped and moved 14 miles away to Short Pump. We're going to try to find some suburbs. We're looking for somewhere to live. Do you live around here?
I'm from here.
Okay. Is this a good place to live?
I love it.
I don't know, is there a tech industry around here?
Capital One, they're always hiring IT types, I think. So I'm from here. I've been active duty Navy about 13 years. Went to the Naval Academy, gonna go get my master's next year, but I'm coming back here one day. It's great for families, good schools.
Crime? But
Not in this area. There's not a drop of it here.
Okay. Oh, well, that sounds very good.
Yeah, I can't recommend it enough. I love it out here.
That's a really good review, yeah.
Close to DC, the mountains, the beach, perfect little town, and it's growing like crazy.
Probably want something that isn't hilly.
This is quite a hilly region.
It is, yeah.
I've got sunflowers.
I grew a sunflower when I was 5. It was the tallest sunflower in the class, or it might not be. My aunt sponsored me, and ever since then I've had to sponsor her for every event that she's taken part in, which is a lot. And she reminds me of the sunflower that she sponsored. That is a big packet of cigarettes or something. Is that... Are they allowed to do that? It hasn't gone very well. I was distracted by the Lego Movie soundtrack and I missed the turning. And there's a massive detour, so we're carrying on through South Virginia. I'm tired. We've stopped in a motel in Bracey, Virginia. The air conditioning works, except for it's just so hot in here. It's taking an age to cool the room down. Is that big? Some of the stuff here looks like it's visiting from the Carboniferous era. They're just these giant insects, and I don't know. Most of them are dead, like this little fella, but not all of them. I don't know how I'm going to cope with this. Everything on the ground that looks like a stick is actually an enormous bug. For example, this thing. I don't know what it is. I think it might have been one of those things in Men in Black. Something flew overhead, and I don't think it was a bird. It cast a shadow. Oh, there's something else. I'm gonna take the other stairs. That big butterfly started flapping manically.
Is that the biggest butterfly you've seen?
No, I saw one in, I think, Kew Gardens. It was an exotic example that people paid money to see. Okay, so we went next door to have dinner at it was a sort of southern barbecue buffet. I thought that the room would be cooler when we came back, and it's slightly cooler. The sun's gone down, so I don't think it's going to get a lot cooler.
Also 80 degrees at 8:45 at night.
It's just so hot. Apart from that, it's quite good. Night.